Today, we're gonna talk about events. Events is one thing that I think our customers are super excited about. One of the biggest reasons our customers actually love our events management platform is because it's one system, it's one ecosystem, there's infinite possibilities and configurations. And today, we're gonna talk to you about some of the newest configurations today, okay? So one is gonna be on-site, it's gonna be hiring days events. You're gonna think about this of how you can actually connect with a candidate to a requisition, or think about this, if it's not actually in person, what if it's virtual? You're gonna see that for the first time today as well. The second option that we're gonna talk about is a campus hiring event, potentially a traditional booth event, or maybe even virtual. This is gonna help focus on lead collection, conversation feedback, post-event. It's either potentially one-on-one interviews or even align with a job. Third is gonna be a networking event. Maybe it's informational event. It's gonna focus on lead generation, content presentation. There can be both in-person, but a lobby or booth structure as well. But we're gonna see how we're actually gonna set it up first. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and start exploring the recruiter event. So this is how we create our first event, right? We're in our events tool. This is again, that one platform, one single piece here. You can see all of your upcoming events that you have, but let's go ahead and start creating that first new event. Now, if you notice, there's gonna be additional purposes here, like we just talked about, that high volume experience, maybe those people that are coming to your event locally, or again, like promised, virtually, and we can promote some jobs here. So we're gonna start with that high volume hire. Again, this can be at a campus, it can be your traditional event, or it can be virtual. So within this form creation, you can see that we've got our event name, our description. Of course, you can use those trusty templates, but the tagging purposes as well. This is where our customers see a massive value that they're seeing where again they're coming from. If it is virtual or if it is in person, you're able to get those analytics too on how well those events are performing for you. You're gonna be able to have any sort of reoccurrence to this event, as well as understanding the time zone that you're actually located. And again, if somebody's gonna be coming in person or registering online virtually, you're able to have specific types of forms as well. So let's go ahead and get this published here. This is what it's gonna look like. This is gonna be our high volume event for trucking. Now, one of the newest capabilities here you might notice is gonna be that pre-event checklist. This is gonna be so important, and one of the biggest things our customers have tried giving us some of this feedback with of what if we wanna go ahead and have different email reminders? What if we wanna go ahead and have full evaluations after I actually meet somebody in person? Even having some screening questionnaires and getting feedback from hiring managers. You're able to set all of these pre-event checklists to each specific event, whether again, it's gonna be in person, at a traditional hiring fair, or again, online. You're gonna receive full event analytics. This is also a massive improvement based on if I'm seeing somebody at the event and maybe I wanna go ahead and hire them. What does that look like and how am I able to get this all the way through my hiring process? You're able to see that really quickly. Now that we have the how to get your event started, let's take a look at this from a candidate perspective. Let's say a driver found this event either again online or in person. They land on a specific landing page. Again, they can do this on their mobile device. They can view it from many different areas, but they can actually see and register as they go. They can see the jobs that it's associated to and get the full branding. You can quickly see that we can register for the event and get this, pre-screening questions. This is again a massive improvement to the way that we're evaluating candidates prior to even seeing them come through an event. This is massive when it comes to some of these higher volume organizations that we're seeing. One, asking, do you have a specific driver's license that we're looking for from a trucking perspective? Are you comfortable with overnight driving? What's your preferred location? You know, we have a healthcare organization who's been utilizing this type of software, asking for credentials prior to them actually coming to an event. It just gives that little je ne sais quoi to knowing who they are and who they're talking to prior to getting them to a qualified hiring manager as well. Next, they can actually start registering for the booth. So this is also a massive increase when it comes to virtual interviews or virtual career fairs as well. Do they want to see some sessions prior to? It's not just maybe meeting that hiring manager and what the questions are going to look like, but let's give them a great experience when it comes to a welcome center, Do you want to learn a little bit about the career path capabilities within the organization? Or do you want to do a little meet and greet and actually meet with a recruiter so they can actually start a complete registration and understand what it's like going to be at a really nice traditional event, but it's going to be virtual, right? It's going to have that full capability. It has a full agenda waiting for them of what's coming next for the event and what they're registered for. All of this, again, for that recruiter or event manager, they're going to get all of those details, all again in that one spot in the CRM, notating what they're excited to see. Continuing on the events capability. We talked about this potentially at like a college career fair as well. Let's take a look at a candidate experience, maybe not even registering for specific events that are coming up. And like you just saw, the different registration points of different events I might be interested in for that virtual event. But let's take a look at this from maybe choosing what college career fair I want to attend or where I might see it. This is an example of a candidate doing this just even on the chatbot from the career site. They might say, hey, I might be interested in a specific job, but it might say, okay, this is a really needed niche position at the organization. And it's understanding that and saying, ooh, go to one of these events that we have coming up. Here are some that we have. One's at the Illinois State University Career Fair that we have coming up. You can actually take a talent drive and come to another virtual event. Which one works for me? The candidate can actually understand all the differences and the nuances of each of these events while choosing which one would be the best one for them. So if I wanted to choose the one that I'm going to be at Cal Poly, I'm able to see that really quickly and now go through a screening process. So you saw me set this up in certain screening questions in the beginning of the events capability, but now you can actually see that the candidate can go through those screening questions again. Do you have a driver's license? Are you comfortable with overnight driving? Again, giving those recruiters or hiring managers that might be on site at that hiring event a little bit of detail from the candidates that are coming in. All right, and our last events example that we're going to share today is, again, kind of going on that line of maybe a high volume or maybe a higher touch detail that you need to know in advance. Not everybody that's going to be coming to your event is going to be qualified. So how do we get to know that they're qualified based on some screening questions or maybe even some assessment questions and get them really triggered up to a hiring maybe interview instead. So set them up for the right recruiters or the right hiring managers and get them up to a one-day interview. So you can see that we can do this on the career site, for example, during the quick application of, hey, what's some of your application questions? This one, for example, now isn't necessarily maybe a trucking organization, but maybe teachers that we have available. It's going to ask some application questions. These are going to be potentially knockout questions as well, or directed to specific questions that are absolutely needed for the organization and the job. After that, different workplace scenario or assessments can also be triggered at this point, and we can give some situational judgment questions as well. From here, it can actually serve up certain hiring events can be triggered in this process. Now, you might want to go directly to the hiring manager and say, here's your next upcoming interview, or hey, let's do a full interview day. Here's 3 days that we have coming up. One's virtual, one's in person, and I can go ahead and book my interview. From here, the candidate can self-select, hey, do you want to do some intro interviews or a one-on-one interview, or do you want to know about some opportunities coming up? This will give them a quick interview slot that they can actually set with the hiring manager at that interview, or at that event, book the interview slot, and they're all set. That is just another way that this information can get transferred really nicely to events. It's not necessarily just on the job, but serving up what's best for the candidate and also the high volume play for an organization to get what they need from each event as well. So I know we've seen a lot of different new kind of events functionality today, but it would be nothing without some of the success that we've already had with some of our analytics. To start, we have a US-based FinServe organization who leverage the event functionality that you're seeing today. Now, they automated and nurtured to have about 93% attendance in conversion rate of over 109 events that they yielded just last year alone. So that's over 1,500 new applicants that they received just from their events capability. They're able to see this with all the analytics that they have. Now, after implementing events and university recruiting with Phenom, we had another large hospital system saw an increase of event attendance and conversion. They had 1,000 potential new hires and a 25% hiring rate. That same hospital actually had a 4 times increase. So they had 100 attendees to about 400 in-person attendees, 39 on-the-spot offers with those events, and 30 to 40 follow-up of interviews scheduled during those events. So this is a massive increase that they saw, and they're able to get this all within their own event analytics. So two massive success stories. Really excited to see what's coming next in this year for our customers using events and all the new use cases that we can get out of it. So looking forward to it.